Let's turn to our newsmaker tonight. Climate activist from Ladakh, Sonam Wangchuk, completed his Yatra from Leh to Delhi yesterday. Remember, Wangchuk was detained by the Delhi police on the 1st of October at the border, along with his supporters, even as he was coming towards the city as part of his Leh to Delhi Yatra, where he has raised the issue of greater autonomy and statehood for Ladakh, as well as a need to focus on the climate emergency facing the Himalayas. He was finally released yesterday night and allowed to proceed to Rajghat, to Mahatma Gandhi's Samadhi, where he paid a tribute. And joining me now is our newsmaker tonight, climate activist and Ladakh icon, Sonam Wangchuk joins us. He's just out of detention, was at Rajghat last night, and you join us today at the completion of your Yatra. You're looking rather tired. Sonam, are you tired or even more determined to push ahead with your agenda for statehood and sixth schedule status for Ladakh?
Thank you, Rajdeep. My body is a bit tired, but my soul refreshed with the recent events of the last 2-3 days. And yes, determined to be on the mission, not just for Ladakh, but for the entire Himalayas and the planet.
So let's get it right. What is this mission? What have you achieved through this Yatra? Do you think you've got people to pay attention to your demands? And is that demand statehood, or is that demand protecting the eco-friendly character of the Himalayas?
Okay, Rajdeep, we walked for 1 month from Leh to Delhi, and our mission, I think, was twofold. One, to remind the government of the promises made to Ladakh about democracy in Ladakh in the form of statehood and in the form of sixth schedule of the constitution, which ensures democratic decentralization for indigenous tribal communities. So to remind these two, we came all the way. And along the way, since I'm an educator, we were educating all the people along the way, all over the Himalayas, about what is happening to the Himalayas and how we can salvage it, how we can seek salvage from the government through policies which apply in Ladakh in the form of sixth schedule, but for the rest of Himalayas could be made, if they are not there, to strengthen local communities. Secondly, we wanted to educate the people about their lifestyles, because that's what generates all the demands for power, electricity, minerals. That is wreaking havoc in the Himalayas, with the pastures going for solar power plants in Ladakh, to rivers being drowned with the villages in Himachal Pradesh, to mining of limestone and cement industry. So all that we wanted to educate and raise awareness to reduce consumption so that supply reduces. And we achieved a lot in the second part, the education part. In the first part of seeking redressal from the government, well, we have come here to remind that, but of course we were detained at the borders, and it was not comfortable at all, but I feel very good that it helped reach our message to the entire country about the education part, and I hope the government, addresses the demands also, because when they detained me, I sat on Anshan in the police station, and on two conditions we broke the Anshan. One was that we should be taken to Rajghat before 2nd October is over, which they did, and I'm grateful. The second part was that we should be able to meet either the Prime Minister or the Home Minister or the President of India in the next few days, and the talks with Ladakhi leaders should begin in the next 2 weeks. And that we have been assured by the Home Ministry that this will happen very soon, a meeting with the Prime Minister, Home Minister, or the President. So we are taking their word for it and waiting with bated breath for this appointment to happen very soon.
Because that second part then becomes crucial that you just spoke about. You were detained. There has been no dialogue so far. You're telling us now that you've been given an assurance that either the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, or the President will listen to your grievances or will at least have a dialogue with you about the possibility of statehood, sixth schedule rights, and generally the rights of the tribal people. Am I correct? Because the sense is that it was becoming a bit of a confrontation. There has been criticism on social media where a lot of the government-sponsored or government-supported handles are saying that Sonam Wangchuk cannot be trusted. You've been called anti-national and someone taking on the government.
Okay. Well, in a democracy, first of all, nothing like this is anti-national. And secondly, we are not against the government or for any other groups. We are just trying to remind promises made to the people, and that cannot be anti-national. If that is, then no promises will be kept, because you can just call any people anti-nationals. That really doesn't hold anything, particularly saying that to people in Ladakh who have fought shoulder to shoulder with the soldiers in the last 5 wars. People sitting in Delhi have not done that and have no rights to call any Ladakhis anti-national. Ladakh's least patriotic person would be more patriotic than the most patriotic in Delhi.
That's a very strong statement to make, and I can see the passion that you make it in. The reason I'm saying it is because invariably this has got dragged into politics. The moment you got detained, Congress leaders came out in your support, Rahul Gandhi, Mallikarjun Kharge, and as I said, there were critics of Sonam Wangchuk saying that you're trying to sort of confront the government. Do you believe this agitation, whether you like it or not, is willy-nilly now caught up in politics, and as a result, you find yourself in a position where you're seen as someone who's adversarial, taking on the government?
Not at all. That would be very unfortunate. Actually, we admire things that are good. I have always been an admirer. Where it is not, and the government should not do things that will make them, not respected. I want to remind them and I want to set them correct, and only best of friends do that. Worst of friends will just do sycophancy, but I want to tell them that please keep your promises and come out as trustworthy leaders.
So what's the basic promise? Is it sixth schedule status? Is it statehood? Is it greater autonomy? Okay. What is that basic promise that you're looking for when you meet these government functionaries?
Okay. Statehood is not a promise. Some people say statehood was promised. That's not a promise. That's only an appeal and a demand from the people of Ladakh that they should enjoy the same fruits of democracy as the rest of India. Now, sixth schedule is a clear promise. You can check the manifestos in 2019 elections of the parliament and 2020 Ladakh Hill Council. It was in the top 3 points in the agenda, in the manifestos, that Ladakh will be included in the sixth schedule. Now, I don't know what happened. They have been, at least I can say, delaying this over the last 5 years. We don't really know the reasons, and I would like journalists like you to ask government authorities and ministers as to what the reason is that Ladakh was promised and elections were won and then it didn't happen. So I'm not against a party or for a party, but I would remind a government of promises, and I would like that in India election promises are really taken seriously, because otherwise that's where the trust deficit starts. I mean, I feel India has no other deficits. Trust deficit is where everything starts breaking. Then, things don't get honored, and then you have the same thing happening in markets between businesses, leaders, people. So trust is where we lose the most. I can explain to you another time how trust is the biggest, drain on a nation, lack of trust.
Can I therefore ask you in conclusion, you're saying that you're hoping that within the next 2 weeks you're able to meet these government functionaries. What if that doesn't happen? Will you go back? Will you go back again into agitation mode?
Yes. That again, I'm trusting what authorities in Home Ministry have assured us that this will happen, a meeting with the top 3 leaders. And I'm taking their word. We will all see in the next few days whether it is trustworthy or not. I really want to believe that they'll keep the last promise, and they'll keep this promise that we'll meet the leaders, and we'll have a happy ending to it. We are not at all against the government. We want to help the government in everything and in keeping their promises. So I just want to say we'll wait for the next few days, maybe 5th of October. Not that we'll get an appointment. They may not have time immediately, although we had informed quite a week in advance, but a name and a date when we can meet one of the leaders, at least of the top 3. And if not, I don't want to, but if not, we may have to resume the Hanchan, the fast, indefinite fast that I broke after we were taken to Rajghat, and we were given this assurance that we'll soon meet one of the top 3 leaders in the nation. So I don't want to think that, but that's a possibility.
Let's leave it there, because obviously all of this has happened in the week of Gandhi Jayanti, and in a way you've tried to sort of inspire yourself and your followers with the message and ideals of the Mahatma Gandhi, and I'm sure in true Gandhian style you will be able to find a way forward.
Exactly, Rajdip. Gandhiji personifies truth. That is what we are seeking in keeping promises. Gandhiji personifies eco-sensitivity when he said there's enough for everyone's need but not enough for everyone's greed, or to live simply so others may simply live. So that's why we wanted to be on the Gandhi Jayanti in this march, and March was also one of his paths, and so was Anchan. So we are following the father of the nation to see if that work, that path still holds value in our democracy.
Let's hope so, that it still has value, and the Gandhian mission does. Sonam Wangchuk, for joining me. Thank you so much. Okay, that's just about all that we could pack in on the news today. Thanks for watching. Stay well, stay safe. Good night, Shubh Ratri. Jai Hind, Namaskar.